Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another album review. Today we're going to be looking at Nitro Kappa's Epiphany. This is the latest record from anonymous electronic music producer Nitro Kappa, which was released earlier this year. Now, I gotta say, I was really looking forward to this project. I absolutely love music, literally all kind of music. There is not a single piece of music that I will hate. I'm open to all kinds of music, man. So this was really exciting for me. After listening to this album, I have to admit that this record is absolutely atrocious. It's not the type of music I'm into, honestly. See, when I listen to a piece of music, I prefer to hear what I know, something that hits close to home. And since this was a new album, I was a little skeptical, which is never a good sign. An album needs to give a good impression in order to be a decent album the whole way through, and that involves not making me skeptical. And I know what you're gonna say next. I know what you're gonna say. You're probably thinking, wouldn't this make you hate all new albums? And I gotta say, get off my back, man. Just let me be. I mean, come on, am I not allowed to be afraid of new music? Isn't that completely natural? So stop pestering me about first impressions. I'm the expert here. First of all, the opening track is completely bland. It's super forgettable. It's the most forgettable piece of music I have ever heard. Why is it forgettable? Well, yeah, I forget. Then there's Fabulous, which is basically an extension of the previous track, which I am still forgetting about as we speak. Fabulous features plenty of cool melodies and timbres, none of which are all that cool or appealing. I mean, come on. Really? Pretty melodies and timbres? Don't you think we're a little above that? That's a little blasé now. Programming with Sisyphus is quite beautiful, though. It features many of these sparkly water sounds and bells. It's all really nice, but this song reminds me of water. And that's offensive. You know, when I was working in the kitchen of some place I prefer not to mention, and I prefer not to mention it because of this traumatic and offensive event, I absolutely refuse to bring it up anymore. This place, it's just horrible. Nothing horrible about it per se, it's just a bad association with this incident that left me scarred and offended. Anyway, in this kitchen that I prefer not to mention, one of my silly coworkers left the sink running after they were done washing the dishes, because, you know, it was kitchen regulation to wash the dishes at this time. That's just what you do. And this really hurt me, man. The fact that he had the absolute, genuine audacity to leave the tap running left me so scarred and offended that I quit my job and never drank water again. It was super offensive, and this track reminds me of that chapter of my life. Ugh. Then there's Bizarre Fresh Start, which has one of the most gorgeous and uplifting choruses I've ever heard. And it's absolutely horrible. It's complete garbage. Points off for immediately making me think of garbage, because why would a song make me think of garbage? Well, maybe it's because you're a garbage man and that's just what you think about 24/7, or maybe it's because the song sounds like absolute garbage, or maybe it's both. I don't know if there's anyone out there who listens to this and is a garbage man. If you listen to this and are a garbage man, sorry I left you out of the equation. Also, sorry I said that you think about garbage 24/7. This is getting a little awkward, I'm sorry about that. Like and subscribe if you want to follow College. It doesn't get much better though. My Attention Is Yes is another really bland one. It's only got one chord change and about 5 bridges. Really? That's really lame. Then we have Feel Nothing There, which makes me feel like I'm in a disco in space, or something like that. Really cool. And since I'm unable to breathe in space, that's offensive. So this track suffers from that side effect. And like I said before, I don't like offensive. Just look at my water incident, for example. I'm not going to bring it up anymore. It drives me nuts to talk about. And so do nuts. I hate these things. 9 times out of 10, they look like small, dried turds. And that's never a good thing for anything edible. Why would you eat these things if they look like turds? Points off for making me think of Nuts album. Big Funking Problem is really funky, bro, but it's way too short. And Iris has the exact same problem, but the opposite direction. It's still really funky, bro, but it's about a minute longer to the grocery store. Do you have any idea how hard it is to go to the grocery store? I mean, you gotta get a cart that has decent wheels, and then you gotta memorize where all the aisles are and where all the food is and where you get it. It's just too much of a hassle, and you know what they have at the grocery store? Nuts. Points off for making me think of nuts again. Okay. This is where we get into some of the weird stuff, alright? Next up is Sour Lemons, which sounds exactly the way it sounds, like sour lemons. Who eats lemons, really? And then there's $5, which is very beautiful and moving. It features many pretty melodies and chord progressions. Yeah, pretty melodies and chord progressions, I said it. Not one section of the track is like the other, and that's a real shame. definitely not enough bridges in this one. And finally, we reach the title track, the euphoric and ethereal Epiphany, our destination on this adventure. This record was a long disappointment overall. I was not impressed once with the lack of bridges in each song. There really needs to be 3 in each one. I give this record a perfect 10 out of 10. This album is a masterpiece. I'll link it in the description so you can check it out for yourself. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next review. I love this record so much.